Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Grand Emergency here. I need to turn that fucking music down because holy hell is that loud. Stop. Just fucking stop. Anyways. So, you guys seem to enjoy my last video that was talking about, tanks. Like, talking about how the Tiger was not, the Tiger 2 was not the, best tank of World War II, like somebody was claiming, which made me ponder a lot of life decisions at that point. So I figured in the style of that, we would talk about the Sherman tank, which people arguably think is the best, and I'm slightly inclined to agree, but for certain reasons, right? So, basically, how a lot of people think is that, oh, the M4 Sherman was all we used in World War II, blah, 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 whatever. It was not. So Americans first getting into theater were actually running M3 Lees. And so were the British, actually. So the big problem with this is obviously you have a Sponson 75. You only have the 37 up top. 6 dudes in here. It's not exactly the most comfortable thing to be in. And their problem is that they basically made the M3 Lee as a stopgap until they could finish the M4 Sherman, because they were trying to design a turret that could hold the 75. So once that was finished getting designed, then you get things like the M4 A1 and things of that nature, you know? The Sherman is kind of a rather misunderstood tank, I think. A lot of the, oh god, I forgot about that. Just ignore the bushes. I'm one of those cancerous people. But the M4A1, right? So like the Shermans, everybody was like, oh, they just blow up all the time. They have all these problems. What? They don't. They really don't. So with the whole ammo exploding and the tank lighting on fire constantly thing, that kind of was a mix of things that would cause that. A big one being like the ammo stowage. So on these, it's a the ammo stowage on these is dry stowage, and the ammo, if you look in the X-ray here, right? So all your ammo is pretty much like up here in the back racks, in these racks, you know, there's a lot of ammo everywhere in this tank, right? Now, later on in the development of the Shermans, they made wet ammo stowage. So wet ammo stowage is basically where they kind of put this, what would it be called there? Kind of like, it's almost like a bag of glycol mixture, I think is what it is. And basically what that would do is if it got hit with shrapnel or whatever it may be, it would blow these, it would blow the bags open, and they would go on the rounds and get them wet and hopefully not detonate them. What a lot of people found, because the Russians actually tested the idea, is that it kind of acted more like additional armor than it did anything else. But the good thing with the wet stowage was that it added, okay, what the fuck, whatever. So if you notice, some of the ammo isn't in the same spots anymore. Like your primary ammo is pretty much down here in the floor, and that was what made them kind of more survivable. There wasn't as many spots to hit that had ammo. And like one unit noticed that from before they had wet stowage in their Shermans, they were averaging like 60 to 80% of the time they'd have fire incidents that would wreck the tanks or harm crew members, whatever it may be. But once they got wet stowage ammo, that dropped to only like 16 to 20%. So it was a significant drop. It really didn't improve the tank. Another thing a lot of people constantly bicker about that kind of bugs me is, you know what, and I used to be one of these people. It used to drive me nuts, but I've learned. is that why would the Americans stick with the 75 when we clearly already had the 76 millimeter? So the 76 millimeter, the M1 cannon, was already developed by D-Day. Like, by the time we did D-Day, they already had him. But if you notice from old pictures and stuff, before D-Day and even into D-Day, there were no Shermans with 76s. They were like hardly anywhere. The main reason being is that the Americans were kind of noticing they weren't encountering a lot of Germans, like a lot of German tanks. At least not a lot of them that the 75 couldn't handle. The Tigers, the Panthers, stuff like that were very uncommon, so they didn't run into them a lot. So pretty much everybody stuck with the 75. And the 75 had the advantage over the 76 because the 75's high explosive shell was more proficient than the 76 millimeter. It was much better at taking out infantry and things like that. And so that's why the US Army stuck with that 75 for as long as they did. The other thing that people always say is like, oh, the stabilizer is garbage. Oh, it doesn't work well, whatever. And they try to like quote historical stuff to say that's how crew members felt. And no, not really. So a lot of units that got their Shermans didn't get trained on the stabilizer. Like they didn't know how to use it. They didn't know how it worked. They didn't know how to fix it. So a lot of guys, once they learned how to use it, did like it. But once it broke, they didn't know how to fix it. So then they just didn't have a stabilizer. So what you kind of see is that, you know, once that started happening and started being an absolute mess, the crews started getting trained in the stabilizers. And it kind of depended on your unit too. So like, obviously you'd have some commanders who'd be like, no, we're not using the stabilizer, whatever, because they're old school and hard-headed, you know, and they wouldn't let you do it. But most units did. And what a lot of the Sherman gunners enjoyed about it is that, you know, if you're driving under 15 miles an hour, which is what the stabilizer works up to, you could shoot the gun pretty accurately on the move. Not to mention, the stabilizer was great for if you stopped to shoot at somebody. The gun was stabilized much quicker than like a German or a Russian tank would have stabilized. Which, yes, they don't have stabilizers, but that was the whole point of the short stop stabilizers. People have named it. Funny enough, too, if you actually look at the frontal armor of a Sherman, right? Armor, fucking... okay. It's kind of... This guy's a little more there. You know, so, you know, looking at parts like this, like 88 millimeter, 89 millimeter, stuff like that, right? If you go and look at a Tiger 1, I should have made this whole setup like way earlier, but I kind of was distracted with stuff. So if you look at a Tiger 1, right, it's 103 millimeters. The Sherman at max is like 90. So they really weren't that far off in armor. It's just because the Tiger's gun is destructive, to say the least. So it made it kind of difficult for the tanks to actually be like effective in that way. But against the 50 millimeter rounds and that the Germans used, or 37s, or the 47 millimeter from the French, like those rounds couldn't penetrate the Sherman. So against stuff they fought in North Africa, it was effective. And the short 75 had a hard time going through its armor. So that's kind of the thing that made the Sherman more useful in that manner. Kind of some other stuff too. I know people have always been like, oh, the M4A3, it's got a 105, like that's cool. Kind of an additional coolness to this tank is that this is basically what would have been like the combat engineer tank, right? So these are tanks with the 105s. Their job is to be with engineers, and it's really to blow up like obstacles and bunkers, things like that. And, you know, it should have a dozer blade, but, you know, it doesn't. but that's fine. Whatever. I'll get mad about that later. But yeah, you know, it should have a dozer blade. Screw you, Gaijin. Get your stuff together. Yeah, so I figured I would show some gameplay of playing the 75mm Shermans. So I guess I could bring the M4A1 too, but that's going to be a mess. But we're pretty much going to be rocking the A1, the regular M4, and then the M4A2. If you guys do end up liking this video a lot, I'll do a separate video on the 76mm Shermans. And then after that, I'll probably do a video on the foreign variants of Shermans, because if I sat here and talked to you about all the variants of the Shermans, I would be blue in the face, and this video would be like 2.5 hours long. So I've kind of decided that I'm going to talk about just the 75s. And then if you guys like it and stuff like that, we'll make the 76mm, and then we'll do the foreign variants, which one of the foreign variants isn't in the game. And I sorely wish it was, but actually two of them aren't in the game, but that's not important. All right, so I'm gonna build this lineup. All right, so we got our first match. Let's I guess we'll take out the crappier of the three. So you get different ammo types. So obviously your HE, your M72, your M89, which is smoke shell. Take a couple of those. Jesus, ammo down. So don't ever discount my hearing. Don't ever discount the smoke shells. They are incredibly useful in the right scenarios. All right.
Attack the B point.
Ah! Stop, screw up. Screw you, dude. Alright, so I still gotta screw with this. This is so loud. All of my life, dude. Okay, there we go. Jeez. Okay, that's not as bad. Alright, so, this version of the Sherman, this would be a cast hull Sherman. That M4A2 is a welded version. So they kind of changed up the armor on it at some point. Money has a lot to do with that, but it's really all it is it was a change because money. Oh. Also, guys, I am one of those people. I do use realistic sights because that's like my favorite thing in this game. So yeah, if you want realistic sights or you like that realism to it, there's plenty of YouTubers who have done videos on it. I'm not gonna sit here and try to do it just because I know there's like a million people who have already done it, and they probably will do it better than I can, as I am still learning how to do a lot of this stuff. So
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
taking A, and I don't see anybody, but that doesn't mean there's nobody there. Right, driver stop. Ow. Oh my god, the eyes in the front of that Stug. What? I don't know why, it just made me think of that stupid "let me do it for you" meme. Ugh. I'm just gonna do this one. I'm not gonna do the realistic field of view because it's awful. Yeah, that meme absolutely drives me nuts because it always gets stuck in my head, so. Oh, boy. Alright, so... Oh, that guy's dead.
Attention to the map.
So if we do fight tigers and things like that, like KBs, we can kill them from the side. At that point, it's really just going to be a judge of who's faster. And who can do their job quicker. That's really it. And hopefully I'm the one that can do it faster. Okay, what the fuck was that?
NANI?!
Really? Ow, 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 ow. Ow.
We need artillery support!
Jeez. I don't even know if fireman main gun at this point. Who shot me from behind?
Yes, a hit!
The hell is that behind me? Ow. Oh. ASU 57, why am I not? Excuse me? What? Oh. Okay. I literally lack the words for whatever the hell that just was. Oh my. I'm gonna yeet myself off a bridge after that. Oh, God. Oh, also, fun fact, M4A2s run diesel engines, not gasoline or petrol engines. Some little side information. Typically, when you see Marine Shermans, they're all M4A2s. They're diesel Shermans, just because diesel, from what I've read and what I'm aware of, the only reason they had the diesel variant was because it was just easier to get fuel. That was kind of their logic for sticking with it. That was a terrible shot. And that guy is also an idiot. I gotta get used to those sights. It's been a long time since I've driven a... No, the Sinai. Great. I know where I'm going. Let's take this one out first. Oh my god, 45 rounds of ammo. What the... No, sir, I would not like another. That sounds like a good way to die. Kind of upset I only have M72 shot, but... Oh, great, and up here to 5-0. At least the Germans are on my team. Russians, Brits, and French. Yeah, the French kind of have some scary stuff with this BR. Not particularly enthused about that prospect, but alright, whatever. Rude. It was very rude. How did it pen there and... What? That doesn't even make any sense. God, that R3 is just a menace. That's terrifying. A little less terrifying. For God's sake. Oh, for the love of God. You messed up, Frenchie. Oh, that's a long. That's a 17. Oh, that's scary. It's fine. We don't need him that bad. Oh, for God. Why? 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 Ow. Of course there ricochet. Why wouldn't it?
Allied forces have captured a zone. The weapon has been damaged.
Oh, for fuck.
No! God, please, no!
At that point, I was just harassing that guy. He's probably sitting there like, bro, stop. Stop abusing me. No. No, I don't think it will. Alright, time for the cancer bush thing.
Roger that. Confirming fire.
For mercy! Roger that.
Defend the A point.
No shit.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close. Allied forces have captured a zone.
Attention to the designated grid square. Attention to the designated grid zone.
Oh my God, with that thing. God, that thing's cancer.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Alright, we'll take the P40 out. And promptly bomb that guy into the nether regions.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Attention to the map. Attention to the designated grid zone.
Oh, fuck. Really? A hit?
Attention to the map.
Or was that just a hit? 500-pound bomb.
The enemy has most of the strategic zones.
Oh, that's terrifying. Yeah, that M19 is tragic. Oh, Finland. Yay. Because I love to suffer. Yeah. They need to fix these map designs. Alright. Sheesh, look at that Cromwell looking tallin'. You have to say that the Sherman really isn't the fastest thing around. I mean, this one's not spaded, so it's not like true potential of what a Sherman could do, but they're speedy, just not as speedy as you think. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, guys, is the whole rumor that, like, you had to send 5 Shermans to kill 1 Tiger. It's because a platoon is 5 tanks. That's why. You don't desperado duel the enemy tanks. Like, no. You send a platoon element to go attack somewhere. Oh, look, there's a Tiger. Cool, there's 5 of us versus him. Let's see how this pans out. You know, that's like the reason for it. Ah, yes, the cancerous Pumas. I have the might of Germany on my side with cancerous friggin' Pumas. Doesn't matter if it's the 50mm Puma or the, like, 9.7 30mm cannon Puma. It's just cancer. Even though I do love the 30mm one a lot. Oh boy, this is really, really exciting gameplay.
Surprise, motherfucker.
How'd that work out for you,
Enemy is
doofus?
controlling most of the zones.
I hear another tank. It is very close. Oh dear God, what is that?
The enemy is getting closer to victory.
Ah, nerd. Whoa.
Somebody cover me! Defend the A point! Attention to the designated grid zone!
Deal with it yourself.
Forces have captured a zone.
Knew it. Where are you, you little bugger? Yep.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Attention to the designated
How'd that work out for you?
square.
Attention to the map. The gun's being looted. Attention to the designated grid square.
Attention to the map!
My brother, how do you not notice that there's a tank right there? Yeah, that's fine. Not even near me. Oh, that's a... Oh, that's a lead. That gun can't pen me. I think somebody brought a little too much ammo. Nerd.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Attention to the map!
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to refrain from whatever the hell that was. Yeah, you know what? You deserve that, Panzer 3.
Attention to the map!
the advantage anymore.
Jeez, you're stupid, aren't you? Get clowned on. Yeah, you want to not do that? My dude, you have a short 50 mil. You're not gonna pen me.
Let's go! Our sector is under artillery barrage! Allied forces have captured a zone.
It's amazing how many of them have gotten behind us at this point.
We're winning! Most of the zones are under enemy's control.
What? What the fuck? That nose wasn't even aimed at me, dude. What? That spray went wide of me, and I still died. Okay. Gonna put a stop to that nonsense. Come on, bitch. Get clowned on, kid. Da-da-dee, 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 da-da-da-da-dee.
Allied forces have captured the zone.
Attack the A point.
Oh my god. That hurt my crew? What? How did it only hurt the front guys? Now that I'm thinking about it, how did it not hurt the dudes in the back?
Attention to the designated grid zone.
We're ahead of the enemy.
That guy's probably like, screw. Oh yeah, it's the same dude. He's definitely gonna be worried. Dude, lead him back to me so I can shoot him. Bro, what? I watched all of those rounds go right at his canopy, and then it's like, nope. No hit at all, sir.
Defend the B point.
Oh, you dick. Where are you?
Allied forces have captured a zone. Just keep it up.
Attention to the designated grid zone. Defend the B point.
Roger that. Artillery, fire!
I forgot I had this weird looking camo. Kind of neat though.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Oh, for God's sakes. Okay.
A little more effort, and victory will be ours. Roger that. Fire! Enemy forces have captured a zone.
My God. I cannot believe that artillery killed him. Well, that'll about do it, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry that my gameplay was absolutely awful. Like I said, I've not used a 75 Sherman in a very long time. But I do hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you all later. See ya.